Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Valentine Lister, and this is the weekly astrology and tarot forecast for Sunday, November 28th through Saturday, December 4th. So I'm going to go over the important transits of the week, and then at the end I will do a tarot card reading to give us some good energy, to give us some advice and guidance for this week and how to handle the energy. But before we get started, I just want to let you know about a super awesome discount that I'm offering on readings with me. So right now you can get $20 off your very first reading, and all you need to do is go to my website, valentinelister.com, and when you go to book your reading, make sure to enter the discount code 20 bucks to get $20 off of your very first reading. And that offer is good until December 31st, 2021. Real quick, what do I offer? I offer tarot card readings, birth chart readings, a combination of both. Birth chart readings are generally better for understanding what your fate or your destiny is, what the stars had to say about your life, and what would happen like in terms of love, relationships, children, marriage, career, your work, what you were meant to do in this life, you know, like who you are. And it's also good for figuring out what's coming up next for you. So I do some transit forecasting there as well. Tarot card readings are better for specific advice. If you have a really specific question, you want to know, you want to have some guidance on it, want to know what to do, tarot card readings are better for that. And I offer these readings on Zoom, one-on-one chat. It's a live session with me where we meet together. So again, you can book that at valentinelister.com. Use the code 20 bucks by December 31st, 2021. And I'm going to put the info in the description box below underneath the timestamps so you can see it there and get a little more info. But anyway, let me stop chatting and tell you about the transits. So I'm going to go over quickly Sunday, November 28th. I actually covered this transit in last week's forecast. But just to give you a quick summary, really early in the day, if you're Eastern Standard Time, it's about 6 a.m. So it depending on where you were, Sunday, November 28th, Mercury went Cazimi. So Mercury is in Sagittarius, a Jupiter-ruled sign, and so Mercury is all about the god of mischief, planning, action, business, marketplaces, and it's in a Jupiter-ruled sign in his detriment. So that it's basically, it's trying to fulfill the obligations of Jupiter, and so it's being called on to be super spontaneous, makes it difficult for Mercury to plan things out. So just have fun, go with the flow type energy. So Mercury Cazimi may represent or demonstrate like wisdom, seeing the connection in everything, everyone, morality, justice, and the law, and the big picture items in friendship, lust for life. But I'm thinking that some dark truths might have been coming up today, maybe today, maybe yesterday, like leading up to this or early in the week, because this Mercury Cazimi is making a secret conjunction called an Antitia with Pluto. So we might see some dark truths, either secret hopes and dreams or really dark things that we really meant to keep hidden and didn't want to tell anybody about. We're seeing those things come up so that they can be dealt with, and also that there can be some type of universal like justice from the universe for them. So not necessarily seeing these dark things or even hopes and dreams being dealt with in terms of like the justice system, but seeing hopefully like some actions towards justice in a way where it's like the universe just creates this poetic justice that like that people basically got what they deserved in life, not necessarily going through a court of law, but just the things that happened. People got what was coming to them, and also really hearing some uncomfortable truths really harshly, directly, because Mercury in Sagittarius is not beating around the bush. They're not planning how to say it. They get the inspiration, they get the push to say something, it comes out. So that type of energy around Sunday, November 28th. All right, so on Monday, November 29th, we have Mars, Trine, Neptune. Now, a trine is of the nature of Jupiter. So this is a really like supportive, friendly, aspect that really is going to help us move towards seeing a bigger picture in life, seeing a connection in things, and seeing like just something to move us towards like connection, hope, and meaning. So a real supportive aspect, but one that isn't necessarily moving Mars like towards action in like a traditional way. So when Mars and Neptune meet each other, the action might be a little bit different or sluggish. So Mars going over this god of war, like to mess things up, like to fight, liked war, and that's why people didn't like him. But when Mars is in the picture, he gets us into action, he gets us motivated, he gets us moving without thinking, and he represents accidents, injuries, like skin rashes, heat, surgeries, anything that's cutting, fighting, like risky action, impulsiveness, and volatility, but sometimes that's the energy that can move us forward. And so Mars is in Scorpio, which is a very discerning aspect. But there might be like emotional volatility towards our actions, or some type of emotional reaction, like we're motivated to move forward through emotions. But we do have this element of like, we know when to fight and we know when to step back. And so that's making that aspect up with the god of the sea, Neptune, who represents fertility, disguises obsession, danger in nature, poison, anger, earthquakes. He was kind of an angry god, defense of lovers, and the illusion of love. So what does this actually mean? Like, what kind of examples could we see? So we might see some like disillusionment or anxiety around our actions, like really nervous about moving forward, like this nervous energy, because with like the dreamy, elusive energy of Neptune, Mars isn't able to just act clearly, directly, decisively as normal. So we also might feel like sluggish or tired or lazy in our actions. So good day to relax, do something dreamy, be near the water, like the ocean. I know it's cold, but I still go. Get in the bathtub with some sea salts, just like this lazy action. It's okay to be lazy when Neptune is in the mix. That will help you to feel a little more harmonious. Also, like, so Neptune helps us to see like images and illusions. It can be kind of trippy, like you're on a psychedelic. So when I've had this aspect happen, the Mars trine Neptune, like I found like just funny things like a toy gun that was like a Barbie size in my bedroom. I don't know where it came from. I mean, it came from my kids, but I don't know how they got it. Someone gave it to them. It was like this big. It was so funny. And I found like a rocket ship sticker in my kitchen, which was cool. And I saw a lot of like lion symbolism. So Mars was in Leo at the time. So you may see more symbolism related to the centaur, like having fun, partying, spirituality, being out in nature, being with your friends, like feeling connected. You might see actual symbolism and inspiration about that. Interesting too, you might see some of your dreams going into action, because the last time Mars trine Neptune, Jeff Bezos launched his rocket ship called the Blue Origin flight. It was like, it wasn't a long flight. They were up there for a couple minutes, but it was the first like consumer space flight. So really seeing like this dreamy action, dreams being put into action. So sometimes Mars is very effective in Neptune. I shouldn't just say it's like lazy and sluggish. We can see things that are like super cool, like and very dreamy. Also with Mars in the mix and Neptune, even though it's a harmonious aspect, there's still this element of like accidents or injuries, like with those Mars significations. So like for example, like my nephew got a corneal abrasion on his exercise that day. It's also like dreamy or fun action maybe, or emotionally driven, like friends asking you to hang out and go and have a good time. All right, and so again, the spotlight is really on Neptune, because on Tuesday, November 30th, we have we have Venus sextile Neptune. We also have the Sun sextile Saturn. So it's kind of interesting, even though these are all harmonious aspects, I feel like there is like some conflict. So we, like on a whole sign aspect, we have a little bit of a tension with that the sun squaring Neptune. So maybe a little disillusionment in our actions and what we need to do. Because with the sun sextile Saturn, like the sun is all about illuminating the truth, like life force vitality, inspiration, journeys, pilgrimages, kings, bosses, fathers, leaders, spouses, politicians, clarity, right? And it's making that whole sign aspect to Neptune, which can be a little disillusioning, legacy, things that are eternal. And then Saturn, so some kind of like action that we have to do, because Saturn represents like restriction of life, the restriction of time. Like we only have so much time, the harsh realities of life, having to survive and protect yourself, like your comfort zone, boundaries, fear, yada, yada, all those things. So the sun sextile Saturn is really like a nice aspect. It's just like you have responsibility. And so like, I don't know, like, examples of that is like where I just really functioned and did like just really nice things, like legacy. So with my kids, I made like a peach cobbler. We had gone peach picking, like doing these like traditional things with family or friends, just taking action in like a harmonious or pleasurable way to get things done would represent the sun sextile Saturn, or just like paying bills too, like things like that. Like I really want to get stuff done. But then we also have that Venus sextile Neptune, and Neptune is stationing. So it's like slowing down. It's not really like, it's there's a focus on it, and it's also not at its like, I guess, strongest is the way to put it. So Venus sextile Neptune, it's still a little bit like, okay, so Venus represents like pleasure, beauty, making things look nice, judges, decorations, altars, smoothing things over, marriage, fertility, sexuality, money, riches, like lavishness. And then Neptune again is like disguises obsession, danger, nature, poison, anger, earthquakes, defensive lovers, and the illusions of love. So with Venus sextile Neptune, breaking that down, it's like someone tried to scam me on YouTube while I was watching a tarot card reader's readings, but then someone warned me about it and I reported it. So that was like the harmonious aspect with that illusion. Like I went to the park with my kids and they were playing with someone who shared a car, which was super awesome. But then the dad was like disappearing and I was like, where is the dad? And the kid was acting up, and like the dad and the parent was nowhere to be seen. And it's like, I'm trying to step in. So a little bit like, what is going on? Like that elusive quality. So overall, getting to the point, you know, just like having responsibility, taking actions to take care of something, but then feeling like super disillusioned that you have to deal with life. And you can't just do things that are pleasurable, because with that Venus sextile Neptune, there may be this disillusionment about not necessarily being able to do something that's pleasurable, or something that you thought was going to be pleasurable doesn't pan out in some way. Okay, and then Neptune turns direct on Wednesday, December 1st. And so it's going to be moving forward, messing up, creating disillusion in that whatever area Pisces rules in your chart, and maybe creating like this focus on some disillusionment in our actions, because it's squaring the sun, and our plans and the way to move forward. We may feel that influence maybe around Wednesday, and with all this Neptune energy, really feeling dreamy, escaping, disappearing. Like Neptune is beautiful for escape if you need it, but it also can be like disillusionment with things that we thought were true, and then we find out they're not. Okay, and then on Saturday, December 4th, we have a new moon total solar eclipse. So we have this, usually solar eclipses represent a change and a new start of life. So wherever Sagittarius rules in your chart, you're probably going to see some sort of change there. And the change may be in the way that you look at the bigger picture, the connection, the meaning in life, where you see justice in that universal justice way, where you see, you know, just like what life is all about, what life is supposed to be, and how to move forward in that way, in a way that has integrity and in a way where you want to fully experience it. So a new start in taking action towards like some type of wisdom in your life, some type of action in your lust for life, like a new start there and changes there. And again, just the way you see life and that bigger picture, something in that area of life is most likely set out to change. Also, I want to mention with eclipses, they have a tendency to be hard on the body, and then also with Neptune as well. Sometimes with Neptune, our bodies can be like super sensitive. So really take care of yourself. Really make sure to rest, attend to your emotions. Take it easy because with that eclipse and with the Neptune energy, there may be a tendency towards like sickness or illness. Because also eclipses represented like the death of the king and endings in some way. So in ancient like folklore, there was always this energy of like just real harshness in the body and sudden changes. So it's nothing to worry about. I mean, we've all been through eclipses, like, and in general, like you may see a change in your life or whatever, but just make sure to get extra rest. You may just feel this energy more on your body. And if you do get like sick or something, no big deal. Just, take extra care of yourself, rest, relaxation, as much as you can. I know we can't all do that, but just to be expected. So whatever you would do to take care of your body, do that. Whatever you have in your house when you want to get well and feel better, make sure to have those things in your house so that you can nurture yourself. Okay, enough ranting. Let me let the cards speak. I'm going to do the tarot reading for this week. For you guys, but let me tell you, I watch these readings during the week. I'm like, what did I say? And it actually helps me. I hope it's helping you too. Let me know. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to pull a card for the energy for the week. They're all just popping out and just feeling like putting them out. Okay, all right, so the energy of the week, we have the Three of Swords energy. Don't freak out. This is the summary of the energy of the week is the Three of Swords. Don't freak out. A lot of times the Three of Swords, it just represents like okay. So what I'm getting from this card, looking at it, is that there is some raininess and disillusionment, but some light at the end of the tunnel, something that will reveal something that our heart is trying to tell us, and really putting our dreams into action in a way that really feels good emotionally. But also being able to control our emotions and have some soberness as well. That there is that energy as well that maybe we need to step away from our emotions and make sure to look at things in an objective way. Make an effort to keep ourselves together because we will have emotions come up. We will have desires. We will be feeling a little bit like off kilter with all this Neptune energy, but there's wisdom at the end of this. We have that new moon solar eclipse and that Sagittarius energy. So wisdom at the end of the day. Just make sure to not see anything that's disillusioning or that's unsettling as reality. It's not the ultimate reality. Look to your heart, to your soul is the message I'm getting through, and lead with your heart, and that is where you will find your groundedness and your truth in life. This card is just like talking like crazy to me today. Okay, so the advice for the week, again, we have the Ace of Swords. So this is actually just tying in with the message that I was saying, is seeing things clearly, objectively, doing our best to ground our minds and double check things as much as possible. But make an effort to look at the objective truth in the situation, like even writing out the facts of the situation, or asking people like, is this really happening or this really true? We want to make sure to have our thoughts, like double check our thoughts with all of this like illusion, Neptune energy. But also remember to not judge our thoughts, that our thoughts are our thoughts are energies themselves that are not necessarily objectively true. So you have thoughts come through your mind. And one thing that's like been an aha moment for me in my meditation, and I still have a long way to go till I'm like the Dalai Lama, but is that the soul doesn't speak. So that's something that I didn't get for a long time with meditation. It's like, well, which thoughts are like the right thoughts to have or that are going to lead me to peace? And you can use your mind to get to a place of peace. But at the end of the day, whatever chatter is in your mind, that's not your soul speaking. Your soul is the presence that's peaceful, that's observing, that's this like full energy that is really just okay with whatever and is really not affected by anything that happens in our life. It's just present with what happens. So with whatever mind chatter that happens, remember that's not the objective truth. And we can also have an element of just like playing with our thoughts and seeing them as entertainment. We have a live reality show up in our heads. Interesting. Okay, so the outcome of the week, we have the Queen of Cups. So at the end of the week, we may again see people, we may see that illness or people feeling out of sorts or needing more support emotionally in some way. We may see like a maternal, mature, like motherly figure or people that care for us, like caretakers, really needing support in some way. Maybe they're going to be feeling sick or down. Maybe they're tearful, not feeling like themselves. But we're gonna see a lot of emotion come out, and we're gonna need to really be supportive and help people ground themselves during the week. And that can be something that really can help us with our hearts and us feeling grounded. So we're gonna have to like keep it together this week and see things objectively and being able to help support our loved ones. And so again, have anything around your house that you would have to like take care of yourself, like food or like remedies or things that just make you feel better if you're not feeling well in your body. Because like other people around you might be feeling down, sick, need emotional comfort or physical comfort in some way. No surprise, because we're getting the end of the fall season. It's getting colder, and it's that time of year where, you know, people are more indoors and they're getting sicker more often. So I'm going to go into mind, body, spirit a little more because I like to see how we can nurture ourselves and our bodies. So in our mind, we're trying not to let things get to us, trying not to feel down and fighting that inner battle. I could see that with Mercury and Sagittarius. Detriment or not, like Sagittarius knows to keep pushing forward and to fight because we have the sun in Sagittarius like supporting our actions too. And so our actions might not be super conventional and what other people would think, but they're what we need to do for our own growth and healing. And we're going to push forward and do things in a way that keeps us vital, that keeps us fighting, that keeps us moving forward, and maybe a little bit unconventional and spontaneous. Maybe sometimes people think we're reckless, but really this fighting energy to move forward and see clearly, like this Ace of Swords is recommending advice, really fighting to see clearly beyond our emotions, and really keeping like hope in our hearts. And really nurturing that fight within, but it's a fight within. Like it's not necessarily like fighting with other people, although that could be. Sometimes when these cards are reversed, it could be crankiness or fighting with other people, but that's not what the energy I'm getting from this card. I'm really getting this blue and brightness and just having compassion for ourselves and the fights we have to go through and our inner battles, and really fighting to move forward. And then in our bodies though, okay, maybe some of us also personally might feel sick in our bodies or like feel weighed down, so really exhausted and tired because we have this 10 of Wands energy. And so in our body, maybe trying to take on things and do things all by ourselves, because maybe people around us are sick, but maybe taking on a little bit too much of a burden, too much responsibilities, having this energy of I can do everything myself. I can just push forward and like fight through, and I'm healthy. If I just keep my mind healthy, like my body will be able to do everything I need it to do. But generally like taking on too much, and you may feel weighed weighed down and you may not ask for help, even though that's probably a good idea this week if you can get some help, if you do have supportive friends and family that can help you. Otherwise, just ask the universe to send you help. I find that helps sometimes. You know, if you don't have an actual person to come give you help, like I know like some people are like single moms or don't have the resources or the type of energy, you're like, universe, come help me, and the universe will come through, especially with all this Sagittarius energy, this Jupiter energy going on of good fortune. All right, and so for the spirit of the week, we have the Two of Cups. So really feeling like we can navigate our environment in a way that's really like nurturing. Like our spirits are good, and maybe that's why like physically we might end up taking on a little bit too much this week, because our spirits are feeling really good and close and connected, and like we can manage our environment, we can be affectionate and loving and supportive to the people that are near us, and we find pleasure like from nurturing others and creating a safe, comfortable, loving, pleasurable environment emotionally for others, and being able to negotiate like these emotional roller coasters that are most likely to be coming up for the week, and just having this spirit of optimism. Okay guys, I'm going to show you an image of the cards before we end. Hey guys, so here are the cards for the week, so you can, if you want to take more time to reflect on them, you can. And the spread was, this was the overall energy of the week, the advice and the outcome, and also mind, body, and spirit. All right, love you guys so much. Have a great week. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video every single week.